Come on, put your hands together. Here we go. Great God, you are.
You are great forever.
Great God, you are.
You are great forever.
Great God, you are.
You are great forever.
Great God, you are.
You are great.
Oh my gosh, speaking of hands together, let's give our music team and our band and our media team, oh my word, wow. Welcome to the most innovative, electrifying, energetic, spiritual community in the world. Namaste. We welcome all of you and your energetic presence here with us. We are delighted that you are here. And part of the way that we come together is to create this synergy with all of us. And so wherever you are, and whatever time you are there, stand and let us state together the great invocation. We are now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. We acknowledge thy presence and thy power, O blessed Spirit. In thy divine wisdom, now erase our mortal limitations, and from thy pure substance of love, bring into manifestation our world according to thy perfect law. You know, it says that in thy divine wisdom now erase. When we're tapping into our soul, it's so easy to erase these beliefs, these limitations, this emotional stuff that is in our way. And it happens to be Friendship Sunday, so we want to We want to greet you. I mean, as I like to say, I'm confident that I am alive because someone thought enough of me to invite me to a Unity community when I was 19 years old. So just over 25 years ago, imagine. Just seeing if you're listening. And so let us state together our mission and our vision. We inspire, ignite, and invigorate ourselves to pave our spiritual path. And our vision is we envision a world that gives, embraces, embodies, and expresses unity. Don't you believe that? Every time you read a title in the news, you go, unity is the answer. Say that with me. Unity is the answer. We want to welcome all of you online viewers. It's always great to see all of you. Please like our Facebook page and share the page with your family and friends. You can also watch us during the week or live also on YouTube. Of course, you can always start a watch party and invite everybody to join you on Facebook or IGTV. Also, go to Facebook or firstunity.org and actually see all the activities going on. Live stream and Zoom within our campus. We have many programs for you. We're growing our presence around the world. That's what we made very clear when our doors were closed and our hearts were open. And we were watched last week in 43 countries. For the first time, we had, including that, Italy, the Netherlands, Ukraine, some areas of Canada, and Kenya. So obviously, we're also watched and very grateful all over the United States. Speaking of spiritual leadership, speaking of First Unity is expressing how, and our Institute ILI shows you how you can do the same. So go to ILI.org. We have 22 faculty members and we have 30 courses. And so thank you as you are part of our collective community as we honor artists, healers, seekers, and activists. And later in the program, you will be hearing from Cindy Dale. She is our chosen influencer of 2020.
Keeps on lifting me, keep on lifting me higher, higher.
There's the giving of love, and there's often the act of giving a love also through financial support.
You love your spiritual community and you show it in a myriad of ways. One of the top ways to support your spiritual campus during the time when our doors are closed but our hearts are open, we continue our operations through your continued financial support and love offerings. And the easiest way to do that is using Text to Give, and we are forever grateful for your support.
Come on, everybody. 'Tis the season to be amazingly, ridiculously amazing. God is amazing. It's so amazing.
It's so amazing.
Your love for me.
Your love for me.
It's so amazing.
It's so amazing. Your sacrifice for me.
For every blessing.
For every blessing.
Given to me.
Given to me.
For every valley.
For every valley. You used to strengthen me. Yes, I deserve your love. Your tender mercy. If not for your grace, where would I be?
Come on and put your hands together for the awesome, amazing love of God. It's so amazing.
It's so amazing.
Your love for me.
Your love for me.
It's so amazing.
It's so amazing. Your sacrifice for me.
And for every blessing. me.
Give unto me.
For every valley,
For every valley you used to strengthen me. Yes, I deserve your tender mercy, if not for your grace. I stand amazed at your glory.
I stand amazed.
I stand amazed at your strength.
I stand amazed.
I stand amazed at your power.
So amazing.
So amazing.
So amazing.
So amazing.
Oh, I stand
I
amazed.
stand amazed at your glory.
I stand amazed.
I stand amazed at your strength.
I stand amazed.
I stand amazed at your power.
So amazing.
So amazing.
So amazing.
So amazing.
I stand amazed.
I stand amazed at your glory.
Oh God, I
I stand amazed at your strength.
I stand amazed.
I stand amazed at your power. So amazing. So amazing. I stand amazed at your glory.
When I think about all
I
you've
stand
done,
amazed at your strength.
I stand amazed.
I stand amazed at your power.
You're so amazing,
So amazing. Amazing. Amazing.
So amazing. Every time you show up, you amaze me. Amazing. Amazing. Nobody can do me like you. So amazing.
Amazing.
When I think about all you've done, I think about how amazingly you love me. So amazing, so amazing, so amazing, so amazing. When I look back over my life and I see how you use me, how you pick me up and you turn me around and you place my feet on solid ground. So amazing, so
Amazing.
Oh God, I love you. You're so amazing. You're so amazing. Nobody loves me like you. Nobody lifts me like you. Nobody blesses me like you. Oh,
The more amazing you say God is, the more amazing your life is. And that's just the simple truth and the way that it is. This is the season now where we honor Advent. And today we are honoring peace. And we're honoring that interconnection. And often people think about peace as fixing something out there. True peace is when in the midst of what is going on out there, you have a core that is connected to your Creator that is so solid, that is so strong, that it is unwavering, that your soul has a knowing that it may not be this moment, but it is within this moment that you step into this awareness and this belief system and this feeling of peace. Peace is more than the absence of noise. It's the discovery of the love within. And so now I invite you, as you see the beautiful candles in front of you, to light a candle in your home for peace. Most importantly, light a candle within your heart, because that is the one that is everlasting. God bless you.
And as you are feeling that candle in your heart, the candle, the bright light, let us recognize that we are here in this season of Christmas, of the holidays, and knowing and remembering that a season is simply another word for change or transformation. Allowing ourselves to be open now. In the Christmas season, we tell a lot of stories, memories of our youth or our children growing up. I remember a story when my grandson Michael was about 5 or 6, and we used to sit on the floor and take old Christmas cards and photographs and do a scrapbook. Not the kind on the internet that we do today. I'm being with the scissors and the paste, and what I would let him do is I would let him paste the pages and dictate to me what the story was going to be. And of course he had Santa Claus and Frosty the Snowman, but he came across a Christmas card with no picture. And he said, "Nani, what does this mean?" And it said, "Peaceful holidays, be the peace that you want to see." So I said, "Well, that's what it says. Do you know what peace means?" And of course, he was just a child. He said, "Piece of cake, piece of candy?" I said, "No, Michael, peace is an expression that you feel." I asked him to close his eyes and just envision. Of course, again, just being a young child, I said, just pretend that you're floating on a cloud and notice what's going on in your body and notice what color the cloud is. And how do you feel about that, Michael? And he opened his eyes up and he said, "It feels soft. It feels like floating. It's a pink color." And I said, that feeling, that softness, that gentleness, that is something that you can always carry within you. The peace within you. That's what the card was saying. So then he proceeded to draw little pink clouds on each and every picture in the scrapbook. In the Advent of Peace this week, I invite all of you to remember the peace that's already in your heart. It's already there. And allow it to shine brighter. And when we are in that space of perhaps, I don't remember what that feels like. And most of us can dip in and out, and that's okay. I invite you to pray affirmatively and say, "Infinite Spirit, God, show me more of what that peace feels like. Bring it to me. Show me more people that are experiencing that peace." And in this special week, while we're celebrating that peace, I invite you to allow that feeling to be yours to embrace. Peace and blessings.
Our God is an awesome God, reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. From heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Oh, our God is an awesome God. God reigns from with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God.
Take a moment and pray with me. Mother, Father God, thank you for being an awesome God that we at First Unity here know as the one power, the one life, the one love, the one presence, that we know as infinite spirit. And not only does it show up as the oneness, it shows up as the allness. All things are possible. And it's all possible because it is all things. All things. So all things are possible because it already is. And they already are. And when we know in ourselves that there's nothing else for any of us to be. But that allness, that one power, everything that there is already there. We are living an adventure. This adventure that I'm on right now is powered by the allness. It is wonderful. I am wonderful. I can step into it and power it with everything because everything already exists. So I can step up knowing that I was born for this moment. I lived my entire life for this moment to step up and claim and accept a higher wellness. To claim and accept more abundance. To have more prosperity in life. Each of us can power our adventure. We are in Advent. I accept that. I accept the peace, the joy, the love, the hope of Advent. Advent is the adventure that I'm on right now. It is up to me to power it. I power it at a higher level. At a higher level. And I can do that knowing that all things are possible. All things already are. I have a higher wellness. I love that. I think it is an awesome God who has provided this adventure for me to live at my fullness. And I invite that each one of us, as we do that, we not only change our life, we change the life of everybody in this world. And that's how we have world peace, that we are bringing it. Thank you, God. Thank you. I am most grateful. I am humbly blessed to be living this adventure It is a ridiculously amazing week and life, and I just allow it to be so, and so it is. Amen.
You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. Great are you, God. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. Great are you, God. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, we pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. All the earth will shout your praise, our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, God. All the earth will shout your praise, our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, God. And all the earth will shout your praise, our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, God. And all the earth will shout your praise, our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great are you, God. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, we pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise to you only. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, we pour out our praise. Your breath in our
How great is God, and how great are our performers and our singers this morning. Oh my goodness. What a team with our band. We are so blessed. Well, as you know, in 2020, we were glided to pick and feature dynamic people that had a broad range of subjects, anything from parenting to moving from Christianity to a further depth of spirituality, to Marianne Williamson, and we'll just say Marianne Williamson talks about whatever she wants to that particular day. But we've had Bishop Carlton Pearson. Yes, indeed. We've had Esther Nicholson. We've had TJ talk about the power of sobriety and healing. And today we have the TJ Woodward. Today we have the incredible Cindy Dale. And Cindy Dale is an internationally renowned author, speaker, healer, and business consultant. She is the author of 27 books. Let me say that again. She's the author of, God bless you. She's the author of 27 books about energy medicine, and intuition. And you know what I love about her is the thing she's an author about, she actually is. She has worked with over 65,000 clients and students and presented hundreds of workshops across the globe. Her books include The Subtle Body, an encyclopedia of your energetic anatomy, Energy Healing for Trauma, Stress, and Chronic Wellness, and Lilian's complete book of chakras, the largest compendium of chakra knowledge ever produced. Now, that is a mouthful. In her spare time, she attends all her son's college baseball games, which means she knows way too much about baseball for being just a mom. She is so incredible. Please join me as we welcome Cindy Dale.
Hi, everybody. I am so honored to be here, and this is a completely auspicious time to be talking about the three powers of light, because when most of us look outside these days, especially when we're coming home from work and wanting to make dinner and put our feet up, guess what we see but more darkness? And it's very easy to just believe that that darkness, whether we see it on the outside or feel it on the inside, is what is really reality. But it's not. In the beginning was light, and light was good. And everything was made of the light, including you, including me, including all of us, including everything that determines our reality. However, what I want to talk about is the scientific fact that actually there are three different types of light, each with their own special type of power, which we can access to create the type of miracles that we're really looking for, but very different types of miracles. As I talk about these three different types of light, I will stop every so often to feature teachings from two of the greatest sages that I have worked with. One is the Master Jesus, who I have studied, but the other is my son, Michael, who actually 28 years ago told me in different words that there are three types of light. And it just took me about 27 years and 27 books to catch on to that. I woke up one morning full of jitters. I was so nervous because it was Michael's first day of kindergarten. And either you remember your first day of kindergarten or you remember your children's or your grandchildren's, but there's almost nothing scarier than those first few years of thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to drop my child off and what's going to happen? I fussed and I fussed and I fussed, and he finally looked at me and goes, Mom, I got it. So I dropped him off. I was nervous the rest of the day. At the end of the day, I picked him up and I said, so how was kindergarten? And Michael said, actually, he asked, maybe I would even say he demanded, do I have to go back? And my stomach sunk. I asked him, well, yeah, but why? And he said, all we did was color. I already know how to color. About 2 weeks ago, I'm sitting in the kitchen and Michael comes in with one of those fantastic, I still am searching for an even bigger collection of the 64 Crayola crayons, plops them in front of me. And he says, Mom, I figured school out. I know what they're teaching me, but I've also figured out the two things they're not teaching me. And I asked him, well, what are they teaching you? And he said, they're teaching me how to color inside of the lines. And I thought, well, yeah, they are. And I said, so what aren't they teaching you? He said, well, they're not teaching me how to color outside of the lines. And you have to do that if you're going to make anything new. And he said, they're also not sharing with us that you don't have to color with the same colors everybody else is. You can pick up and use different colors. Well, what are colors but emanations of the light? And without knowing it, Michael was talking about the three fundamental types of light that if you look in the scientific journals clearly enough, scientists are cluing us into. The first type of light, the one that you have to color inside of the lines to make work for you, is polarity light. From a scientific perspective, polarity light exists because everything here basically has its opposite. It's the story of the yin and the yang. And from a molecular and atomic point of view, we know that this is what makes the world go round because, for instance, you take an electron, which is negatively charged, it's always linked to a positron, which is positively charged. And who amongst us hasn't experienced the fact of the everyday world being full of opposites? Doesn't it seem like when a good thing happens, pretty soon there's a not so good thing? That when there's light, it's followed by darkness. That if you want to make something happen, you have to put in an equal, but actually even greater amount of energy to push and to drive and to create something new. We tend to think of miracles as fairly non-existent in this sort of a universe. You have to earn them. You have to make them happen. You have to go to surgery to get the tumor cut out. You have to exercise a lot to get muscles, and you actually really do, as my baseball playing pitcher college son is constantly telling me when he's working out and I'm actually not very often. But there's a story in the New Testament about Jesus and a miracle that adds another color, one of those beautiful new color crayon hues to the story of this world of polarities that suggests that with a couple sort of shifts of the mind, we can actually create the miraculous in this world of polar opposites, where light and dark coexist because if you can't see the darkness, you really can't see the light. I know we've all heard it, but it's really very true. After John the Baptist died, Jesus was sad, and he was sort of like, I got to get away from all this. We know how that feels, and we also know that it doesn't really happen. I've been a mom. I've had toddlers. They don't leave you, especially when you're trying to go to the bathroom. Even my dogs follow me into the bathroom now, and they're like 11 years old. But I've got to get away. So we got into a boat, went to a secluded place, and there were already people there. And so Jesus, being Jesus, probably sighed, rolled his eyes upward to the skies, and gave in, just kind of like we do when those emails are pursuing us. And he said, all right, what? Let's have some conversations here. The disciples pointed out that these 5,000 or so people, however, were hungry. There weren't any restaurants around where Jesus had taken himself to. So Jesus, taking what could be gathered of the loaves and the fishes, gave thanks to the one and multiplied the loaves and the fishes to feed not just a few people, but what seemed to be, from accountings, 5,000 people. He gave gratitude because he felt compassion for these needs that I would say are related to the polarity universe, the one of physical matter, where you need to follow the rituals of the body. We need to feed ourselves. We need to do the dishes. We have to show up for work, and we need the energy to be able to do this. But what Jesus revealed to us through that undertaking is with gratitude and coming from compassion, there can actually be more appearing in the light than we notice in the dark. We can actually create more light. We can attract more of what we need. We can do more than we think we can do with that gratitude and that compassion. The second type of light that scientists have pinpointed are virtual particles or virtual light. And maybe we've been hearing that term, maybe you haven't. It's come up with some of the investigations into what occurs in a vacuum state, in the void state, in these states of nothingness that seem to not only exist in, like black holes, but even in aspects of ourself. Yeah, there's voids or vacuums inside of our own bodies. And science has been showing that the vacuum, which we used to think was absolutely nothing, is actually full of unlimited possibilities. And don't we all need possibilities and even probabilities to move forward in our life? Well, virtual light are possible lights. They're actually technically called transient quantum fluctuations. And I practice saying that in front of a mirror many, many times. So what does that mean? It means that sort of popping in and out of what hasn't ever been manifested or hasn't become real in our life are suggestions, are little question marks or exclamation marks that say, there's something new that could happen. And science is showing that when these little virtual particles pop in, they disappear, they cancel other particles out, but they also change what's in 3D polarity, this physical reality. They leave a shadow, they leave a light on, they give us another thought, an idea, and a choice. And from a point of view of being a healer, I work with virtual mechanics or this virtual idea all the time, because most of what doesn't happen in our life fails to exist. There's a lot of double negatives for you because we really don't believe that it can, because we don't understand that if we just wear different eyeglasses, if we change our perceptions, if we stop believing what everybody else says is accurate, what everybody says is concrete and real, tumors have to be cut out, and or when they get to a certain point, you're done. If we just suspend the polarity, if we use gratitude and compassion, but go another step, again, we alter perception and reality changes itself. The 3D alters itself. What happened in Jesus's life that reveals this? He was in a crowd and he felt energy leaving his garment. And in my version of the Bible, it actually says the word energy, which I think is super cool. And he looked back and he sees a woman who had touched the hem of his garment. This was a woman who had been bleeding for 12 years. So she was considered unclean, one of the untouchables. She was not supposed to touch people and nobody was supposed to touch her. And he looked at her. She had touched him. She had broken the cardinal sin of that particular polarity world. And he said, "What have you? What are you desiring?" She said, "I knew if I could just touch the hem of your garment, your energy could heal me. You could heal me." And he looked at her and he said, "Your faith has made you well." The polarity can be changed by the virtual when we shift our perspectives to one of faith, to the miracles of truths that are higher than any laws that Newton invented when the apple hit him on the head. And his mother, I think, made apple pie out of it because she was probably quite industrious. It's the virtual that gives us new chances and new opportunities. I'm going to give you an example from my many experiences as a baseball mom that can show you what's possible if you just shift the eyeglasses or the lens, the colors of the lens on your eyeglasses. Gabe, my youngest son, was home like all college kids were for about 6 to 7 months when COVID shut down. And, baseball players have to keep working out. So we converted my gym, goodbye cars, and it was still snowing. So they got snowed on. We converted my garage into a gym. And he and all these baseball dudes worked out through March all the way back till school started. And he hit a snag in his pitching. He said, Mom, will you come and work with my coach with me? Because I just can't get faster than 88 miles an hour. I'm just sort of stuck. And during the spring, he'd been hitting far faster than that. So 7 a.m, because I work really early, I went there to this other garage, and he's pitching, and he's not really on one of these gizmos and gadgets getting faster than 88 miles an hour. And he said, Mom, what do you think's going on? And I looked at him with my keen, intuitive eyes. And I said, I think you're pitching through the perspective, through the lens of some of your ancestors. I think you're kind of in this place that you're holding on to and pitching from some of the beliefs that are like, you're bound to fail, you're not going to make it, this and that. And he goes, well, what am I supposed to do about that? And I said, well, why don't you just decide that the opposite is true? If that can be true, so can be the perspective that, hey, I can pitch as fast as my arm is able to pitch. So he goes, okay, I'm going to try it. The gizmo was on. He threw his next ball 93 miles an hour in velocity. It went up that much, and then he went up actually a full 8 miles an hour because he changed his perspective. Virtual reality, shift your perspective, and this world of seeming opposites bends to that which is potentially able to be created. There's a third type of light. This is my favorite to talk about. One scientist called it absolute light, so that's what I now in my own head call it. It's a light in which there is no darkness. It's the type of light that doesn't seem to have any opposites. It only creates matter, and it only creates, I believe, or innovates that which actually does matter. So we know that there's this absolute light, and really, honestly, it really is just this light that has no opposite. Because scientists are starting to suggest, now some of us already knew this, that there was something before the Big Bang and the Big Crunch. And it really was constructed from, and maybe is still constructed from, a sort of pure, absolute light, just light. I like to say just love. And this type of light still lingers in this polarity or oppositional universe. There's twists of this light in space that don't move. They're there. They just simply don't fluctuate. There's also this sort of hum or cosmic background radiation or electromagnetic activity that itself never fluctuates. To me, this is the light of the absolute. This is the heavenly light. This is that which we go to when we come from the truth of being spiritual beings. I myself had an experience with this light many, many, many years ago. I only had my oldest son, Michael, and I was really working a lot, overworked, and the only time off I ever took was to, and this is sort of sad, was to get in my car and drive to a cabin on the Mississippi River and to mow the lawn and then to drive home. Okay, but it worked for me. And so, one, midday, Michael's spending the night at a friend's house. I rode to the cabin. I mowed the lawn. I'm coming back, and I was drinking a little bit of Diet Coke. Okay. I mean, not the world's worst sin on the way back. And suddenly, like I'm just cruising along at however fast you're supposed to go. This light enters through my windshield, and it pretty much darn knocks me blind. I shake, I pull off the road. I sit there and I said, what was that? And I heard this voice say, it's me, God. I'm like, okay, I don't know. That was darn scary. And I asked aloud, well, what are you doing? And the voice said, well, I am love. It was this white light. And as we're apt to do, within a couple minutes, I had told myself that didn't happen. Too much caffeine, too much aspartame. I got back on the road and I'm driving along a little jittery, kind of like when it was Michael's first day of kindergarten. And then I felt Jesus, the master teacher, entering me through the back side of myself. And I again freak out and I pull off the road and I can still feel this presence inside of me. And I say, "What do you want?" And he says, "Let me show you how I see the world." And I saw the world as just white. Everything was light, everything was good. Years later, I came to understand that that is or was and has always been the absolute light. It's the purity. It's all that is. Ever since then, my personal goal has been to perceive myself, others, everything, the entire world through those eyes, through the eyes of the absolute light. Sometimes I succeed. When I do that, honestly, miraculous events occur. And even when it's ordinary, like I'm, kind of eating lunch, I enjoy the lunch much better. Everything becomes that which is what was in the beginning, the light and love, because that really is what is. 3 types of light: polarity, which we can manifest through beautifully with gratitude and compassion; virtual, which merely requires that we change our eyeglasses to create new possibilities; and the absolute, which is love, which is what we are and what we're made out of and all that there is. And so really the world isn't much different than what Michael showed it to be 28 years ago. It's a world where we can color inside of the lines and be great and create great things. We can color outside of the lines. We can go virtual and make new things happen. And we can just change the colors at will because they're really all that light. They're all the absolute. So go and enjoy in this time and in this season the truth of being 3 different types of light.
For those who have been watching this at home online, take a deep breath in, exhale. I always say that's the universe giving you a kiss, and give the universe a kiss back. Yeah. Wow. The power of 3. As I was standing there, I was thinking the power of 3. You can text to give, you can give online, and you can write a check and mail it. The power of 3. And I ask you, what a better way to plant seed in fertile soil so we can spread a message like this throughout the world. Know that your love to this campus enables that. Know that your love for this campus is not taken for granted. I'd also ask business note. It's close to the end of the year. It's close to the end of the year. And your personal taxes and your business taxes may need a little bit of a nudge. So, if that's the case, you've got about 20 some odd days to write a check to First Unity Spiritual Campus to get that in to file for your taxes this year. Wow, have you not been blessed today? Knowing that you can also extend that blessing by giving online, text to giving, and writing a check and put it in the mail. The power of 3. Thank you very much for joining us today. We love you. Namaste.
everybody knows. And if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names like Pinocchio. You never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer game. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, ho, 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 Rudolph with that nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then all the reindeer loved him, and they shouted out with glee, yippee! Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. If you all enjoyed that little medley of Christmas magic, join us Christmas Eve, 6 p.m., live, local, here in St. Petersburg at Williams Park. We're going to have a spectacular service. And the Yes Youth Expressing Spirit program will feature our Christmas video music spectacular that night. My name is Zion Cristante, the Director of Youth and Family Ministry here at First Unity Spiritual Campus, and I can't wait to see you there.
Are you ready for Christmas, family? Are you ready for Christmas, family? Hang all the mistletoe. I want to get to know you better. It's Christmas, and as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together. This Christmas, firesides blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Hearts are here, my world is filled with cheer and you. This Christmas, and as I look around, your eyes outshine the town they do. This Christmas, firesides blazing bright. We're caroling through the night.
Wow. 2 words, ridiculously amazing, yes? To quote Reverend Ron, for sure. Our hearts are open to helping. And so you can participate either through reaching out for emotional and for wellness, for your emotional and your wholeness well-being. We have 2 incredible professionals. We have Natalie, our beautiful Natalie Pierce, and we have our beloved Tim Alderman. So please go to firstunity.org and pursue us. Let us hear from you. We are here for you in every way. Our angel tree has been very exciting this year. I want to thank Lori Lampert and her team for just an exceptional way of managing our angel tree. It's very important to us. And it's not too late, for the deadline was extended to December the 10th. And our new ministry, Fostering Hope, has given us 25 more children who need angels. So please go to our website, scroll down to Virtual Angel, try and click Sponsor a Child. We had 70 children looking for angels for the tree this year, and we only have 3 left. I would like to see and affirm that we're going to have that handled today. So please go in and do that today. What a feeling, right? On this day of Shabbat, our Sunday here at Unity. Fostering Hope is our new ministry. We're looking to hear from families who are already fostering families in our community. So we'd love to hear from you. Please write in at admin@firstunity.org. Thank you for all who gave on Giving Tuesday. We greatly appreciate your support, and we appreciate that you consider us your nonprofit that is making a difference in the world. Thank you. We want to honor you for sure. Angels and Chakra class Tuesday, December 8th at 7 p.m. live stream by Reverend Kimberly. It's her birthday weekend, so we give her some love out. Happy birthday. And our Christmas Eve candlelight in Williams Park at 6 p.m. Let this be the time that you invite so many of your friends and your family and your neighbors. We are just so excited. It will touch the heart. It doesn't matter what faith anyone is. There will be a space of knowing for each of them. And now if you would please stand and join us as we sing the peace song. Begins right here and right now. Why? Because we choose it right this moment. Let us state our unity prayer. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. For God is amazing. All the time. And all the time, God is amazing. God bless you, everyone. Hey, hey, hey. Woo!
my Michael McDonald impression. Oh, no, no, no.
Taking it to the street.